What's up guys, Zane from Forward Progress Madden here. In this video I'm going to take a look at the shotgun split load option pass play. But first I want to show you the actual load option. When you run the load option against any defense, we'll just call traditional 4-3, we'll just call zone coverage here, it doesn't matter, man or zone. As you can see, when you run this, they recognize the run and will typically, the defensive backs will try to set the edge. And what I mean by that is that you don't really have the option to get out as well when you run it against a traditional coverage. But when you go back and you run the load option pass, you have players running routes. So when you have players running routes, the defense must respect them as receiver options in this play, which is going to allow you to get outside more often than not. So just run this play as you normally would an option, and if you have room to throw, go ahead and make the throw. So what I like to do is I use this play as a run first play, and you really get that option to get outside and pitch the ball to the pitch man on this play, as they will struggle to defend that edge. What this is going to do in turn is it's going to force your opponent to be playing a lot more man blitz and usering down deep in the box against you. And as we're going to see here, that's not good news, because whenever you choose any type of man coverage, we'll go ahead and just call the 4-4 split cover 2 man here. And really what this does is it poses a problem, because the tight end or the wide receiver will get open on his crossing pattern going back across the grain. And you'll see that he will be wide open more often than not. So if you have time to make this throw, he's going to be wide open back across the grain. And you really set up this play by running the load option to the edge, and if you don't have a pass lane, you just run the play like you normally would. And eventually you will have a time where you get time to make this throw, and you can make the throw back to the tight end across the field. And if my controller buttons were registering a little bit better, I would be able to show you this a little bit better, but that's alright. Seems like when I tap A twice, it's not really doing what I want it to do. So like I said, if you have time, you can make this throw back across the field. Otherwise, you just take off and run this like you would any other option play, and just pick up the positive yards around the end. So here's a good example of what I wanted you to do. Denard just doesn't make a good throw. But notice, in man coverage, if you're running traditional 2-man under out of the 4-4, this player is running a deep half. This player is in man coverage on the tight end. Look how he goes and plays the option and leaves the tight end wide open. And as we drop back to throw, the tight end has nobody covering, and the man that is now getting him is actually this player turning around to go cover him when he sees it's a pass. This poses the real problem, as I'm saying, as the player's wide open, and the more you run this option and actually run the ball to the edge, they're going to be using with a free safety over the top and trying to get over and stop you before you can get the edge and run that pitch. So you'll be having a lot of opportunities to, if you have time to throw. What I like to do is I will set up behind my pitch man if I have time, and make the throw back across the field, like so. And as you can see, cover 1 or cover 0 blitzes, it's big play potential. So I just like to drop back and make this throw as such, and it's big yards every time, as you can see, against man coverage. But if you run zone, you really are going to get that edge more often than not. As you can see, cover 3 zone, guys are going to be dropping back into coverage, and you can just run the ball like wild on them. So this play is very, very good in the sense that you really do have all 3 options. I like to actually use it as a run first play to set up the pass, and eventually you're going to get that tight end wide open across the grain, or be able to throw to the X receiver on his deep cross pattern in the hole of his own if they're running something soft. So take a look at the shotgun split load option pass and let me know what you guys think. Thanks.